Hi, everybody. Welcome back to IQ Design Academy. I'm Steve Wilcox. I'm a professional furniture designer, and I'll be your host through a series of instructional videos looking at the process of furniture design using the IQ Design platform. Today's video is titled Concept Output, and if you hang on, we will jump right in just a moment. Okay, everybody. Well, again, welcome back. To put this in context, this is the fourth video in a series on furniture design. And the fictitious scenario is that I've had a client come to me and ask me for some footstool product designs for like a youth or a novelty environment, something that's fun, that someone would buy just as an item if they were at, say, like a Target or Home Goods for maybe a youth bedroom or a playroom or something like that. So the previous videos have looked into coming up with a lot of different concepts based on that idea. We've then looked at different ways to refine those designs. But I kind of want to pause here today and use IQ Design for different types of output. And really, for the designer, there's two basic forms of communications. Number one, what I'm doing now, I can talk about it, I can use my words, or I can use pictures. And as of course, pictures are very powerful when conveying ideas. But there's different ways to present images, and IQ Design can help you with that. Now, if you're an exceptionally talented designer and work great with drafting or pen and ink or squeaky markers or any other, watercolor, acrylic, certainly use those things. But, AI platforms really maximize the ability to do a lot of heavy lifting with different styles. And so today, that's what we're going to look at. So again, I'm in the main IQ Design browser window. That location on the web is app.iqdesign.ai. And again, I'm just going to go upload an image that we've used previously to explore these different ways of visualization. So I'm going to click my cow footstool, which you have seen from one of the last videos or two. And right here, you can tell it's uploaded because it's right here. And I'm going to go from simple to more complex. And you'll see the sketch. If you haven't seen it before, it'll pop up here in a moment. But I'm going to type in a very simple prompt, which is create a simplistic pencil sketch, no shading, comma, no texture, comma, just basic lines. So we will see what happens. Again, we will generate images, and by default, 4 images will be generated by IQ Design. Here's the original image, and you can tell that it's still pencil sketch, but it's a more developed pencil sketch. There's shading underneath it. There's shading to define the forms. Well, I kind of want to go back a step, and I'll explain that in a moment as the images appear. Okay, so here, the AI engine did exactly what I wanted, and it really simplified the idea. Now, one of the reasons I might want to do this is perhaps I might want to print 1 or 2 of these out, and I may want to use it as a template, maybe sketch over it, do some changes, maybe take the same basic form, but make it some sort of different version of this. And this does a lot of heavy lifting so that I don't have to do it to begin with. Okay, so here, that's one example. And again, you can select and save any one of these. These, of course, are being saved in your gallery, which we've talked about before, this tab. We won't go there right now. But what I want to do now is show you a few other outputs that you can have from this. And this really is a fun thing to explore. So now I'm going to delete most of this. I'm going to go create a pen and ink line drawing of the item found in the reference image. And I'm going to say vary line weights. And I'll just keep it that simple. So let's see what happens. I'm going to generate 4 new images. Again, it's going to take this original pencil sketch and hopefully change it in style to something that looks like a pen and ink drawing. So again, we'll see here. I've mentioned before, most generations take well under a minute, 30 seconds. Okay, so here we go. So you do get harder line, darker darks, very scratchy looking pen and ink style. So it did a good job. All right, let's keep going. Now I'm going to say create an industrial design marker sketch using the footstool shown in the reference image. And I'm going to say colorful. I'll just add an element of color. We'll see what it does. Whether it interprets it as a cow, we'll see, or if it gives us some other variations. We'll find out. So again, we're generating based on our original reference image. And we'll see the results. This is real time. All right. So you're getting some different examples, mainly realistic. So the AI knows enough to kind of make it look like a cow. This one is a little bit smaller in scale. This is nice. You can actually see the streaking of the sort of markers that you would use. So it did a great job. Again, some shading here with cross hatching. This one actually has kind of more of a fur look to it based on that. And it added metal caps down here. That's interesting. Again, one of the cool things about AI is it might come up with something that is really better than you originally thought. Sometimes not, but a lot of times it will. And so here it is, you know, this one is very realistic, this one is very realistic. But again, different outputs for perhaps different customers who might understand your illustrations if they are presented in a certain style or a certain way. All right, well, let's keep going here. Let's do something that's kind of fun. I'm going to say create a watercolor sketch of the cow footstool. Add colorful splashes of watercolor in the background. And I haven't spent a lot of time preparing these prompts, but I'm just kind of using them on the fly, trying to describe what I want, and we'll see what the AI engine comes up with. So here again, I am waiting for the generation, which of course, any one of these illustrations would be take me a lot longer in real life using the tools that I've specified rather than AI. So this is just still magic to me. All right, well, these are fun. So here you can see that the AI has interpreted what I wanted pretty accurately, and it has done a watercolor illustration, and it has placed these very dynamic splashes of color behind the main product. Now, many times in product design, you want to focus on the product. You really don't want to focus on the pizzazz around the product. But these are very fun. These are something that are colorful, that would be meaningful to a youth, the buyer of youth products. And it's just a neat way to achieve that. All right, well, let's do one more. And we're going to change the prompt, again, within this window, to create a realistic version of this cow footstool. In fact, I'm going to go back and say photorealistic. And then I'm going to say place into a dynamic how should I say it? A dynamic comic book background. I'm going to say environment. Now, this one I really have no idea. I've not done this one before. We're going to see what turns out here. How this turns out. And again, all of these versions are being saved in your gallery, so you can always go back to them. We'll double check that when we wrap up today. All right, so we gave it more parameters to work with, and it actually did some things that I was not expecting. So this one is pretty much a photorealistic render. It did that. This one does have a comic book air to it with some of the, texts that is expressive, the kaboom. This one I like a lot. This one has a lot of dynamic energy with the spikes kind of pointing at it. And this one, of course, changed the design completely, which maybe you would go back, you might like or not like. But this is a great example of how you can use IQ design to generate different styles of images with your designs. So let me go to the gallery as we wrap up here. And again, you can see I've done some other playing around here, but if I click on this most latest project, all of my designs that we generated during this session are located here, and I can go back to them. So a lot of fun. All right, everybody, thank you for watching the fourth video in this series on furniture design using IQ Design, and we'll continue with some more in the very near future. Thanks for stopping by.